There's always been something very compelling to me about working with unexplored materials, materials like tar paper, for example. In my work, I try to approach the immaterial through the material. And I also like the accident and the juxtaposition of experience that happens when you don't know what you're doing. So this is a copper plate with paper on it, a high voltage generator, and an electric stylus. It starts out with 4,000 volts of electricity and goes down to 115, so you don't kill yourself. When I touch the stylus to the paper, which is porous, it sends a spark through the paper to the copper plate, and it burns a hole. And it allows me to draw with electricity, no pigment, no ink, just fire. This is a piece of equipment from the junk heap of technology. It was once used to transfer sign painters' patterns, but it's obsolete now because of computers. It also seems to be an interesting way to depict quasi-natural creatures or naturalistic forms. There's something about this medium that seems to like the grotesque. And again, you can see that it's only holes. These are typically mounted on pins, just like that. Some of them are suggestive of organic shapes. I'm able to throw a shadow and then use the metaphor of light and dark, shadow and permeability. So there are two bodies of work that I'm doing presently. One is the tar paper and one is mirrors. Because I was exploring new materials, for me this is my own personal book of knowledge, and I really threw everything at this that I had in the studio, including plaster, spray paint, shoe polish. This is one of my favorite spreads. It is quite a few layers of plaster and waxed paper that's had holes burned in it, stencils made with the tool, the electric pouncing tool that makes the little holes. And so the sequence of looking through this book for someone who is not me is a continuation of a kind of a journey through visiting states of being, states of existence, both on the material and the immaterial level. When I discovered tar paper as I don't even remember how it happened, but one of the things I do remember is that for $30 you could get 100 feet of it. And so if you like to make large drawings, it's a wonderful thing. Again, I had before me this world of experimentation that combined a tremendous attraction to the material with the mystery of what it symbolized. Many of the pieces that I had done previous to this big drawing, which is actually in two parts, and they hang side by side, had again to do with small organisms that seemed to be kind of lost in space, lost in this dark medium. So in the Hypnagogue series, which is a series of mirrors, I became very interested in commercial mirror silvering. And I began to think, okay, can I transfer my drawings to mirror using that process? So what I did was I got some glass and I put contact paper on it, and then proceeded to take one of my drawings and just cut the stencil. As I went along, I would remove the contact paper where the silver is going to end up being. All of my drawings, all of the lines that I've cut are now covered in copper, and I can go back in and peel away what I don't want. So when I've finished removing everything that doesn't belong there, what I have is a mirrored drawing. I spent a while just enjoying the fact that I had done that and looking at it as a drawing and maybe framing it. And then I began to notice the shadow that it cast. I just did this one day and said, that's cool. A reflection going up and a symmetrical shadow going down. And so what I began to do, and I'm still in the process of, is understanding how to compose on a wall, how to use this so it's effective, how to work with shapes, how to work with the hardware. I'm really not there yet. I'm not satisfied with this. This is temporary. Ideally, I'd like to have planes of glass coming straight out of the wall with no hardware showing at all. But for now, this is helping me understand the communication of the immateriality of light and shadow. You know, I've noticed in exhibits, people will come up and they'll say, how do you do that? And then they'll go like this. And then they'll have this moment of realizing that really it's just a mirror. You can't always tell, especially from below. And so I'm finding this very satisfying, this kind of work. I really need to push it some more. This is all relatively new. And again, I'm bringing in the same kind of imagery that has gone through my work up till now, but being able to push it further by just creating it out of light and shadow.